Todd Pacific is a marine construction and repair corporation with headquarters in Seattle, Washington. Starting out as a relatively small operation in Brooklyn, New York, known as Robbins Dry Dock and Repair, the company merged with two other operations located in Hoboken, New Jersey, and Seattle to form what became Todd's Pacific. At its height, Todd Pacific Shipyards operated facilities in Alabama, Texas, Louisiana, and California, as well as New York and New Jersey. During the Second World War, the Alameda Shipyard was one of the primary ship repair facilities for the U.S. Navy. Originally owned by Bethlehem Steel, Todd Pacific Shipyards leased the yard after the war in anticipation of a demand for larger passenger and cargo vessels as well as tankers. Between 1949 and 1959, Todd's San Francisco division was a major shipbuilding operation. Considered one of the most advanced shipbuilding facilities of its time, the Alameda operation was also involved in flood control equipment as well as aerospace. During the 1960s, Todd Pacific Shipbuilding produced 4 large T2 class tankers and gained a bit of fame when the company launched the Wadeko 4, a mammoth drilling boat created by joining 2 parallel T2 tanker hulls. It was the largest such craft ever built. By the turn of the 21st century, Todd San Francisco had ceased marine industrial services and had leased most of the buildings out for use as warehouses. At the time, there was some consideration of adding the former shipbuilding site to the National Register of Historic Places. Industrial asbestos. High-risk occupations at any shipyard include machinist, welder, metalworker, and machine operator. The more time spent in the enclosed areas below decks means greater exposure of some of the more deadly forms of asbestos, principally amosite and gracitolite, both of which were in common use during the 1940s. Most shipyard employees who worked prior to the 1980s are likely to have suffered some degree of exposure. The federal government had issued some protective guidelines by 1943 recommending the use of respirators. These did not have the force of law, however, and were not enforced until the formation of the Occupational Safety and Health Administration in the early 1970s. In filing asbestos lawsuits, the shipbuilding companies have generally not been held liable. A large part of the reason is that leading asbestos manufacturers are now known to have been chief architects of the conspiracy to suppress health information regarding asbestos exposure. The defendants in these cases are the asbestos manufacturers, or less often, the vendors. For this reason, it is important to gather as much information as possible when filing suit. One helpful online resource is at coltoncompany.com. For the past several years, the Colton Company has been building and maintaining a searchable database of vessels built by all U.S. shipyards for the past 200 years. Records dating from World War II and later are 80 to 90% complete, and online access is free of charge.
Thank you for watching. This video was produced by Asbestos.Net, a leading resource on all aspects of asbestos and mesothelioma. Our priority is to inform victims about the devastating effects of asbestos exposure, mesothelioma, asbestos cancer, asbestosis, and other asbestos-related diseases, and to advise them with a wealth of information. Individuals whose lives have been touched by mesothelioma have numerous questions and concerns. Their caregivers and family members also need accurate, reliable information. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with mesothelioma or asbestos cancer and need more information, we invite you to visit and explore the thousands of pages of oncologist-reviewed material on Asbestos.net, to call our convenient toll-free number shown below and speak with a mesothelioma specialist, or to use the simple contact form found at Asbestos.net to request a free copy of our informative books, custom inserts, and DVD. Asbestos.net. Information and help for patients and families.